Have you ever wondered what abuse really does to the brain? Whether it's emotional, physical, or psychological, the effects go far beyond just feeling hurt. Abuse can actually rewire the way your brain functions, changing how you think, react, and even how you see the world. The impact can last for years, even after the abuse stops. In this video, we'll explore the neuroscience behind abuse, real-life cases, and expert insights from psychologists and researchers. By the end, you'll understand exactly why abuse changes your brain, and what you can do to heal. Section 1: How stress rewires the brain. Abuse, whether it's verbal, emotional, physical, or neglect, activates your brain's stress response system, flooding your body with cortisol and adrenaline. While this response is useful in dangerous situations, prolonged exposure can reshape critical brain structures. The amygdala, the fear center. The amygdala is responsible for detecting threats. Research shows that people who've experienced prolonged abuse often have an overactive amygdala. This means they may feel anxious, jumpy, or perceive danger where there isn't any. A study from the University of Pittsburgh found that survivors of childhood abuse had amygdalas that were 30% more reactive than those without trauma. The HPA axis, the stress regulator. The hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) axis controls our body's stress response. In abuse survivors, this system often becomes dysregulated, leading to constant high alert states, chronic fatigue, and difficulty relaxing. Studies have linked prolonged HPA dysfunction to conditions like PTSD and generalized anxiety disorder. But what does this mean for memory and learning? Let's take a look. Section 2: Trauma's effect on memory and learning. The hippocampus, the memory keeper. The hippocampus, which helps process memories, can shrink due to prolonged exposure to stress hormones. This leads to difficulty with memory, concentration, and learning. MRI scans of individuals with PTSD show that their hippocampi are 8–10% smaller than average, according to research from Yale University. Flashbacks and intrusive memories. Survivors may experience intrusive memories or flashbacks. A 2019 study published in Nature Neuroscience suggests that traumatic memories are encoded more vividly due to heightened amygdala activity, making them harder to forget or suppress. Section 3: Emotional numbing and its consequences. Emotional numbness and dissociation. Emma, a 35-year-old professional, endured psychological abuse from a past relationship. Instead of feeling sadness or anger, she feels nothing. Her brain, in an attempt to protect her, has numbed emotions, something commonly seen in individuals with complex PTSD, CPTSD. Dopamine dysfunction and anhedonia. Studies show that prolonged abuse can disrupt the brain's dopamine system, reducing the ability to feel pleasure or motivation. This can contribute to depression and social withdrawal. Section 4: Impulse control and emotional dysregulation. The prefrontal cortex, the rational thinker. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making and impulse control, also takes a hit. A weakened prefrontal cortex can make it harder to regulate emotions and respond rationally in stressful situations. Psychologist Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, author of The Body Keeps the Score, describes this as a brain stuck in survival mode, leading to emotional dysregulation and impulsivity. Reactive aggression and self-sabotage. Many survivors report struggling with outbursts or self-destructive behaviors. Research from Harvard Medical School suggests that chronic stress can reduce gray matter volume in the prefrontal cortex, leading to poor impulse control and difficulty handling frustration. Section 5: Long-term links to mental health conditions. Research backs up these experiences. A famous study known as the Adverse Childhood Experiences (ACE) study, conducted by Dr. Vincent Felitti and Dr. Robert Anda, examined over 17,000 people. It found that those who faced childhood abuse had significantly higher risks of mental health disorders, chronic illness, and even a shorter lifespan. Dr. Nadine Burke-Harris, a pediatrician and public health advocate, emphasizes that early trauma affects not just mental health but physical health, increasing risks for heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer. Dr. Gabor Mate, a renowned trauma expert, explains that abuse rewires the brain's reward system, making survivors more likely to struggle with addiction as a form of self-medication. Section 6. Can the brain heal? The good news? The brain is incredibly resilient. Through neuroplasticity, it can heal and rewire itself. Here's how. Therapy and support groups, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, have been proven to help trauma survivors reprocess memories and regain emotional control. Mindfulness and meditation. Studies show that mindfulness practices can reduce amygdala hyperactivity and increase prefrontal cortex function, leading to better emotional regulation. Healthy relationships. Being surrounded by supportive, caring people can help rewire the brain's perception of safety and trust. Physical activity. Exercise increases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which helps repair brain damage caused by stress and trauma. Section 7. Steps toward recovery and resilience. If you've experienced abuse, know this: you are not broken. Your brain has adapted to survive, and with the right tools, it can also learn to thrive. Healing takes time, but it is possible. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you or someone you know is struggling, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Your mind and body deserve peace. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what topics you'd like me to cover next, and I'll see you in the next video.